Alright, welcome to Math in Minutes. I'm here with our next video. This one is, the essential question is, how can you add fractional parts of tenths and hundredths? Now, I would have written it out completely when I had the kids do it. So how can you add fractional parts of tenths and hundredths? So we have just learned how to change our tenths into hundredths or our hundredths into tenths, and we are now building on this next portion. So here is our example. If I have 7 tenths plus 14 1/100ths, now what I would do is, remember, we already know when adding fractions that the denominators have to be the same. Now, we also know that we can convert denominators and still have equivalent fractions to make common denominators. So we're going to need a common denominator. This is all a building block on stuff we've previously learned. Now, since I don't have two zeros in the top and the bottom here, I don't want to change my hundredths, which tells me I need to change my tenths into hundredths. So I have 7 tenths. Add a 0 to the top, 0 to the bottom, and now I have a common denominator in which I can add my fractions. Denominator would remain 100 because it remains the same. 70 plus 14 is 84. So the answer of 7 tenths plus 14 1/100ths is equal to 84 hundredths. Now, I will tell you a big common misconception. This is a misconception. This is something that a lot of students do. 7 tenths plus 14 1/100ths equals, they always know that it has to equal 1, so they pick 100, and then they just add these two together. Well, 7 plus 14 is 21. And that is typically what I get as an answer. This is wrong. It is a misconception. You cannot add fractions that have different denominators. You have to convert those denominators to make them the same. 5 tenths plus 40 1/100ths equals. Now, there are two things that I could do here. Since these both have a 0, I could change this into tenths, or I could make this into hundredths. Whatever you're most comfortable with, I'll show you both ways. So I have 5 tenths plus 40 1/100ths. I want to change this into hundredths, so I'll add a 0 there, add a 0 there, top and bottom, and that equals 90 1/100ths. This is a correct answer. This is also a correct answer. 5 tenths plus 40 1/100ths. There's a 0 on the top, a 0 on the bottom. I can cross them out. 4 plus 5 is 9, and my denominator is 10 because I took away the 0. So both of these are valid and accurate answers. Whatever the child is most comfortable with, I am fine with. Again, this is just adding the 0 to the top and bottom or taking the 0 from the top and bottom away. This is the quick and simple way to do what we did on the previous day's learning, which was multiplying by 10 over 10 to create a common fraction with a denominator of 100 versus a denominator of 10. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and then I need to give this a minute here. So if I have 5 tenths plus 17 hundredths, I need to get an answer for that. 12 hundredths plus 9 tenths, 70 hundredths plus 7 tenths, 43 hundredths plus 5 tenths. All right, those are some examples to work on. Again, we are just building upon the previous day's lesson, and we're adding, which is what we've already done before. Thanks for watching, everybody.